Assalamu alaikum and welcome to another insightful conversation. I'm your host Urooj Aslam, and today we are diving into deep into a topic that lies at the heart of effective leadership and high-performing teams: the importance of empathy. In today's fast-paced world, where organizations rely heavily on collaboration, communication, and trust, empathy is not just a personal virtue; it is a transformational leadership skill. To explore this subject from multiple angles, we are joined by our guest ChatGPT, who will help us uncover how empathy shapes leadership, nurtures teamwork, and strengthens relationships in professional environments. Let's begin this meaningful journey. Hello, ChatGPT. To start us off, how would you define empathy in the context of leadership?
Absolutely. In context of leadership, empathy is essentially the ability of a leader to understand, share, and genuinely relate to the feelings, perspectives, and experiences of their team members. It means being attentive to their needs, concerns, and emotions, and then using that understanding to foster a supportive, inclusive, and productive environment. Empathetic leadership can build trust, boost morale, and ultimately enhance team performance.
Okay. Why is empathy considered a core skill for modern leaders?
Yeah, definitely. Empathy is considered a core skill for modern leaders because it helps build stronger connections and trust within teams. When leaders are empathetic, they can better understand the unique challenges and motivations of their team members, which leads to higher engagement, increased collaboration, and better problem solving. It also helps in creating a positive workplace culture, reduces turnover, and enhances overall performance. In today's diverse and rapidly changing work environments, empathy is really key to effective leadership.
Okay, in your perspective, how does an empathetic leader influence team culture and morale?
From an Indian perspective, empathy in leadership really aligns with values like community, respect, and understanding, which are deeply rooted in the culture. An empathetic leader in India can create a work environment where team members feel valued and heard, leading to stronger loyalty and trust. This in turn boosts morale and encourages open communication, which is essential in collaborative and family-like work cultures common in India. It also helps in navigating diverse perspectives and building a harmonious team dynamic, ultimately driving productivity and growth.
Okay, what differences do you observe between empathetic leadership and traditional authoritative leadership style?
Absolutely. One of the main differences is that empathetic leadership is more relationship focused, emphasizing understanding and collaboration. Empathetic leaders listen actively, consider team members' feelings, and foster a supportive environment. On the other hand, traditional authoritative leadership tends to be more top down, focusing on giving directions, maintaining control, and expecting compliance without necessarily engaging with employees on a personal level. Empathetic leaders also tend to empower their teams, encouraging input and fostering innovation, whereas authoritative leaders might rely more on directives and hierarchical structures. Overall, empathetic leadership tends to build a more engaged and loyal workforce, while authoritative leadership can sometimes lead to compliance but may lack that deeper connection.
How can leaders practically demonstrate empathy in their daily interactions?
There are quite a few practical ways. For starters, leaders can practice active listening, really giving their full attention during conversations, asking open-ended questions, and showing genuine interest in their team members' perspectives. Another way is providing regular feedback and recognizing achievements, which shows that you value and appreciate their contributions. Also being approachable and open to feedback, and even being flexible with policies or schedules to accommodate personal needs can make a big difference. And of course, showing genuine concern during tough times, whether it's personal challenges or professional hurdles, really goes a long way in building that trust and connection.
Okay. How does empathy contribute to effective communication between leaders and team members?
Empathy really enhances communication by building trust and openness. When leaders are empathetic, team members feel more comfortable sharing their thoughts, concerns, and ideas without fear of judgment. This openness leads to clear, more honest dialogue. Empathetic leaders are also better at reading nonverbal cues, understanding emotional context, and responding in a way that resonates with their team. This not only reduces misunderstandings, but also encourages a more collaborative and supportive environment, making everyone feel heard and valued.
Okay, many leaders struggle with emotional awareness. How can they develop stronger empathetic skills?
That's a great question. Developing stronger empathetic skills often starts with self awareness. Leaders can begin by reflecting on their own emotions and biases. They can also practice active listening, really focusing on what others are saying without immediately jumping to solutions or judgments. Another helpful approach is seeking feedback from their team and being open to different perspectives. Engaging in empathy building exercises like role playing or perspective taking can also be super beneficial. And finally, mindfulness practices like meditation can help leaders become more present and attuned to the emotions of others. It's definitely a journey, but with intentional practice, it can really grow.
Do you think empathy can improve decision making? If yes, how does it impact the process?
Absolutely. Empathy can definitely enhance decision making. When leaders incorporate empathy, they consider the perspectives and needs of their team members, which leads to more holistic and well rounded choices. It helps in identifying potential impacts on different stakeholders and promotes inclusivity. This approach can reduce the risk of oversight and increase buy in from the team because everyone feels valued and heard. Empathy also encourages creative problem solving as it opens the door to diverse viewpoints and innovative solutions. Ultimately, empathetic decision making tends to be more sustainable and more effective in the long run.
Okay. What is the impact of empathetic leadership on employee loyalty and retention?
Empathetic leadership has a really positive impact on both employee loyalty and retention. When employees feel understood and valued, they're more likely to develop a sense of trust and emotional commitment to the organization. This sense of belonging reduces turnover because employees are more engaged and satisfied with their work environment. It also fosters a positive workplace culture where people feel safe to share ideas and grow. Over time, this kind of supportive environment not only boosts morale, but also creates strong loyalty, leading to lower turnover rates and higher retention in the long run.
Okay. How can leaders balance empathy with maintaining boundaries and professionalism?
That's a great point. It definitely involves finding that sweet spot. One way leaders can do this is by setting clear, respectful boundaries while still being approachable and understanding. For example, leaders can maintain professionalism by keeping communication transparent and consistent and by establishing guidelines for feedback and support. They can also show empathy through active listening and validation, but still keep the conversation goal oriented and focused on professional growth. It's also important to encourage open communication while being mindful of maintaining a professional environment. Ultimately, it's about being compassionate without compromising on the standards of professionalism.
Okay, finally, ChatGPT, what is one powerful piece of advice you would give to leaders who want to cultivate empathy as a lifelong skill?
I'd say one of the most powerful pieces of advice is to practice genuine curiosity and openness. Always remain willing to learn from others and approach every interaction with a mindset of understanding rather than judgment. Over time, this mindset not only strengthens empathy, but also helps build deeper, more meaningful connections. It's all about continuous growth and being open to seeing the world through different lenses.
Thank you so much, ChatGPT, for sharing such thoughtful and inspiring insights on the power of empathy in leadership and teamwork. Today's discussion reminds us that leadership is not just about authority, strategy, or decision making. It is deeply rooted in human connection. When leaders listen, understand, and value the emotions and perspectives of their teams, workplaces become more innovative, collaborative, and compassionate. To all our viewers, remember that empathy is not a weakness, it is a strength that builds trust and drives to success. I am Urooj Islam signing off. Until next time, keep leading with heart and purpose. Allah Hafiz.
That was beautifully said. It's been such a pleasure discussing this with you, and I couldn't agree more about the power of empathy in leadership. Thanks for the inspiring conversation, and I'm looking forward to our next one. Until then, take care.